Picture yourself sitting in front of a massive screen trying to control one of the biggest fighter jets in the world. Unfortunately, your jet has been struck and the left engine has been hit. It's also completely demolished. It's your job to try and safely crash land the plane without anyone getting hurt. This is the foundation of gaming. Obviously, not on big 3D screens, but on small computers uh, running simple programs to help aid training, assist in research and development, or provide demonstration. The foundation of gaming, 1950. But what defines gaming? Mark Wolf explains the term by saying that a game is a hardware-built device that incorporates an element of player activity and outputs a player action on a screen. Basically, if I do something on this computer, it's fun and interactive, it's a game. This is also the definition we're going by today, and the purpose of the presentation is to inform you about the history of gaming and what the current situation is.
As stated earlier, gaming started with using simple programs to aid training, assist with research, and provide demonstrations. However, the objective today is to inform you about gaming for consumers. In the late 1970s, when gaming became popular with the public, and during this period of time, game consoles such as joysticks were introduced to the general community. There were also a lot of arcade games, as you can see in the picture, which were located mostly at shopping malls and bowling alleys and, for example, bars. The rage of competition began when the competitors could save their score by putting their name to their score, as you can see on the screen. And at this point, multiplayer games could not be played yet. But this all changed when the game Empire was introduced in 1973. This game grew so fast. Sorry. All of the players combined played for almost 300,000 hours between 1978 and 1985. This doesn't seem much at this time, but at that time it was a lot of time being put in the game. This was special because games were not generally introduced to the public yet, because the computers which people had at home were not able to assist this kind of games. So when the Apple was introduced, Apple II introduced, gaming industry was able to build more complex games. This led to an even more popularity with the public. With the game Pathway of Darkness, when the Pathway of Darkness was developed, LAN parties were born, as you can see in the picture, in 1999. A LAN party is like when you have a couple of friends over and all of the friends can play on the same internet LAN, and they play the same game as you, and they compete with each other on local area networks. This resulted in massive growth of online gaming industry. In the earlys of 2000, internet capabilities exploded. So did the gaming industry. I will show you a video to give you all an impression of how it is now, as you can see in 2012, for example. And after this video, my colleague will tell you more about the current situation.
As said before, internet capabilities have exploded since the early 2000s, and computer processor technology has improved at such a fast rate that every new batch of games, consoles and graphics seems to blow the previous generation out of the water. The internet at lightning speeds is now accessible and commonplace, and 3.2 billion people across the globe have access to the internet. According to the ESA Computer and Video Games Industry Report for 2015, at least 1.5 billion people with internet access play video games. Since smartphones and app stores hit the market in 2007, gaming has undergone yet another rapid evolution that has changed not only the way people play video games, but also brought gaming into the mainstream pop culture in a way never seen before. Technology technology allows millions around the world to enjoy gaming as a shared activity. The recent ESA gaming report showed that 55% of frequent gamers feel their hobby helps them connect with friends, and 55% use gaming as a way to spend time with their family. Nowadays, only online multiplayer gaming is an integral part of the experience. Many games have an online component, and that vastly improves the gameplay experience and interactivity, often superseding the importance of the player's offline game objectives. Like the early gaming fans joined niche forums, today's users have relied around mobile gaming, and the internet, magazines and social media are full of commentaries of new games and industry gossip. With the rise of gaming and online communities, social movements and developed, such as Gaming for Good. Founded by Bashir Boumaza, better known in the gaming world as Ateem. He raised millions of dollars for Save the Children, and he recently released Gaming for Good in 2016. I will not dive too far into the organization itself, but as said, the gaming community has a huge desire to inspire and do something good for the world. Online communities formed, and he does the right thing. This combined with esports gives a huge social awareness, and the impact of gaming for good will only grow. Next up is esports.
Electronic sports, in short esport, has been around ever since gaming started. However, it has seen exponential growth since the early 2000s when online gaming and better internet became a thing. The year 2000 saw the launch of the World Cyber Games. Seen in the left picture on the screen, it's a picture of the World Cyber Games 2004 though, but it's still around the same. It also saw the launch of the Electronic Sports World Cup. These two, founded in 2000, were quickly followed by Major League Gaming, in short MLG, which was founded in 2012. These three corporations became the foundations of electronic sports. Fast forwarding to the year 2012, how big is esports actually? I could only describe it with one word. It's massive. In 2009, a game called League of Legends was announced to the public, and it's now one of the biggest esports games in the world. In 2012, their Season 2 World Championships, as seen below in the below picture, has attracted 8,000 live people audience and over 9,000 viewers worldwide, with a prize pool of over $5 million. These numbers only grew in the last couple of years, filling stadiums with 50k people and prize pools beyond reckoning. Also, 20 million people viewed this World Championship online in Season 4, which was 2014, and it's only growing at a faster rate these days. My colleague is even ESPN is starting to broadcast esports, and my colleague will tell you more about it.
Um, in recent years, American media is starting to pay more attention in esports. Normally, these big media platforms are used to broadcast sports like basketball and soccer. But nowadays, esports has an expected target audience of at least 134 million people all over the world. To fulfill the need of this group, ESPN is starting to stream gaming events like for example League of Legends and Dota 2. Um, Secondly, the Score is the first one who is actively interested in esports. They've launched a game application to make it possible for customers to follow gaming competitions, to know what's going on, who is going to win, etc., etc. Um, Furthermore, most use of the applications are following League of Legends. Nowadays, ESPN is broadcasting big gaming events like the Championship of League of Legends. Um, yeah, for example, the League of Legends Championship of 2014 on ESPN2 was watched by at least 27 million people all over the world. According to this fact, the League of Legends Championship is watched by more people than, for example, the NBA Finals of that year. Um, Finally, big media platforms are trying to create an esports competition. They would like to put the best game teams together in one competition because esports is one of the fastest growing entertainment genres among the young adults in the world. Now, let's talk about the expected future of gaming. All the mobile gaming has caused the death of many handheld gaming devices, consoles, and computers are still booming, and each new generation of consoles welcomes a new era of technologies and capabilities. One industry that could well play a key role in this whole process is virtual reality. Virtual reality company Oculus is a company that produces virtual reality headsets. You also have other companies which are doing the same, like HTC, which is producing the Vive. The headset seems to lean perfectly to what is used within the video games industry, and would potentially allow gamers to live inside an interactive, immersive 3D world. With esports and virtual reality both growing at an exceptional rate, there is no doubt in our mind that these two will combine in the future. If the changes that have occurred over the last century are anything to go by, it appears that gaming in 2025 will be almost unrecognizable to how it is today. We will show you a video about the future expectations.
The fight for the season begins right here, right now at the packed Estadio do Rio. And what better way to start than a true clash of titans as last year's rivals go head-to-head. There is no love lost between these two great teams. Will history repeat, or will the underdogs rip up the script?
Are you ready to play some games?